Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Inside the Mug from Pod Tiki. My name is Tony, your garishly charming, lovable host. And today we're here to talk about the last episode of Pod Tiki regarding Clairin and the Port-au-Prince cocktail. I'm sipping a Clairin right now. It's a beautiful day. The windows are open, the birds are chirping, people are walking by here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I am sipping the last of my Clairin Vaval. Beautiful artwork on this bottle. All the artwork is done in country by local Haitian artists. It's a great company to get behind. The Spirit of Haiti is the name of the company. And I gotta say, one might think from my for lack of a better word, critique on Clairin in the podcast that I didn't like it, and I gotta tell you, it's an acquired taste. The more I drink, the more I am starting to discover the nuances and the flavors in it. It's becoming sweeter and more agricole-like over time, but it really still has that smoky mezcal type of finish to it. It is not something I would say that's in my regular rotation, nor is it going to be. But it is something I will keep on hand in the bar for when it's needed. Because I do, much like mezcal, I'm a tequila fan, but I do crave mezcal once in a while. And it's the only thing that really satiates that flavor profile, right? It's not like a smoky scotch or a peaty scotch. It's different. And this is different than mezcal in the sense that it's an agricole rum, so it does have a rummy sweetness to it. A little bit less herbaceous than a mezcal, but it is funky. It is in your face with flavor, and it's an acquired taste, I think, especially if you're a regular rum drinker, especially if you're someone like me who I prefer something a little bit more smooth and refined and elegant. And I'm not talking about pricey, I'm just talking about on the palate. I don't like pungence and spice as much as I like a smooth, creamy, umami, or more of a refined taste. And I think sometimes we use the term spice as a flavor indicator when really it's just the burn. And I don't believe anything, whether it's tobacco, spirits, coffee, wine. I don't think any of that stuff, if it's elegant and Epicurean, it should have any spice to it. There should be no burn to it. There's always going to be a little bit of a burn to alcohol, of course, but like for instance in the bourbon world, a lot of these bourbons that people are seeking out, in my opinion, actually not my opinion, I believe this is the way it should be. That we've come to use the term spice as a flavor indicator because we are tasting rums that aren't refined as the price tag, or bourbons that aren't refined as the price tag. Rum hasn't quite gotten there yet, but with bourbons you're seeing $60, $70, $80 price tags on bourbons that probably should be closer to 40 or 50, maybe even 30. And it's because they're in demand. It's because bourbon is hot right now. Everybody wants that allocated bottle. Everybody wants these companies that 5 years ago were selling $35 bottles realize they can get 50 or 60 for their bottles because they're in high demand. And I don't blame them, right? I don't like it, but I don't blame them, I guess, from a business standpoint. But you're not paying $65 for an elegant bottle of bourbon. You're paying $65 because that bourbon is rare and it's hard to get. Where in the rum world, we can still get really good, refined, elegant spirits. Take for instance, the most expensive bottle I have in my collection is Hampton Estate, the 8-year, and it's $65 a bottle here after tax and everything, and that's an elegant rum. The New England rum from Privateer, you're going to pay $50 a bottle for their base bottle, their New England Private Reserve. That is an elegant rum. That is an elegant, sweet rum that tastes like rum and is going to satisfy the Epicurean palate while not being $100 a bottle. But anyway, I digress. The impetus for the Port-au-Prince cocktail for me was an accident. I was going to do the Negroni in the spring, and I probably will do that next. I think that's a good, fun summertime drink too. But the Port-au-Prince came to be because I had the Clairin, and I was trying to when I have something and I don't know what to do with it, I tend to peruse through my books and look for a drink I can make with that spirit. And it just so happened that this past Christmas, I got Shannon Mustafer's book, Tropical with Tiki and Modern Tropical Cocktails, and I was reading through it, and one of the recipes was for a Clairin Port-au-Prince. So I made it because I had the ingredients, and I turned out freaking loving it. All the things that I didn't like about Clairin as a sipper, I loved in a cocktail. And the things that I did love as a sipper are still there in the cocktail as well. And the little minute pieces of juice and other ingredients, they build on it in a way that really supports the rum. It doesn't cover it up. So that's really, it was an accident. I made it because I had the ingredients and thought, well, let me make this. And I think it was still wintertime, and I was fiending for some tropicality in my you know what I think it was? It was during the snowstorm here in Tennessee, and I was off of work for the week because of the roads and everything, and I was playing video games. I think I was playing Assassin's Creed, and I'm sitting here in the middle of the day wanting a cocktail because I had nothing else to freaking do on a weekday, stuck at home, can't go do anything. Don't really like the cold. I like to go out and look at it. I like to go out and walk around the city and the in the snow a little bit, but after a little while, I've seen it, I've done it, I'm tired of it. I want to come back inside and I want to go see some palm trees. But I made the drink and loved it, and was like, holy shit! And from that point, I went looking for other places. Just so happens that my local tiki bar, Chopper, shout out to them, and the manager Nick, they put a Clairin Port-au-Prince on their menu for the spring, and it was like serendipity. I didn't even know that when I picked this episode to do, but when I tasted it, it tasted just like the ones that I made at home, which is always good because as for the home bartender, you're trying to replicate what you taste in the bar, and a lot of times you're never going to be able to do that because, for one, you got to find all the right ingredients. And okay, so nowadays that's a little bit easier. We can check that off the list. But sometimes you have all the right ingredients, but it doesn't taste like you did at the bar because maybe they make something homemade or they use a different brand or something like that. And the third reason why it's hard to get something to taste like it does in a bar is because every bartender, especially if you're classically trained, makes the drink. It's gonna be a little bit different, right? Because they're doing the counting method on the pours. They're they're making a bunch of other drinks at the same time. Maybe this particular bar batches certain ingredients together, especially in tiki. You find that a lot. A lot of places will make like their own proprietary blend so that it's easier for them to mix things later, which sadly is why sometimes a lot of drinks in the same place will taste kind of the same, but that's a whole nother story. But I get it, because you can't take the time to put 12 ingredients into a zombie every time you want to make a zombie. You have to space those out, right? Or I'm sorry, you have to parcel things out, delineate certain mixes for certain things. I mean, Trader Vic was the master of it, so much so that he bottled his mixes and started selling them. Over time, they become bastardized commercial versions, but the original idea is there. Like even Dom the Beachcomber himself would batch these cocktails in certain mixes and certain Dom's mix and the Munroloff that we talked about in the episode, which is just falernum spelled backwards. He would always have these little code names and stuff for his proprietary mixes, and it was in this cocktail, I was able to get it to taste just like the bar, and it made me feel good. It was like, yeah, I got it. I got this one. So, not much really behind the scenes on that cocktail, but it does stand on its own, and I think we're going to start seeing it a lot more on tiki bar menus because it, as a regular Port-au-Prince with the regular Haitian Barbancourt rum, it doesn't taste like anything special. And that's probably part in due with the fact that the rums that Don Beach created it with aren't available anymore. So we are kind of guessing. When you making a Port-au-Prince with Barbancourt or some other Louisiana rum that was one of the ones he used, or Clement, or some kind of French agricole, those are all guesses as to what it would have tasted like back then. I don't know anybody personally who was alive back then on the West Coast that went to one and tasted it and took notes on it, remembered it So that's why I'm so glad we have people like Jeff Barry and Martin Kate and the very great Kevin Crossman from the Ultimate Mai Tai, who I spoke to on the recent episode of Pod Tiki Chats. Go check him out. Yeah, so that is really all behind the scenes on the how I came up with doing the Port-au-Prince for this one. It really does stand alone. Clairin stands alone. It's growing on me. I appreciate all you guys for listening and watching, and I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter now until I get myself a real camera that I'm able to do a little bit longer videos on. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're seeing this, because the more subscribers I get, that will allow me to do live broadcasts, which is what I really want this to be, a live interactive broadcast. I don't have enough subscribers yet. I'm not afraid to admit it. So please go ahead and subscribe, rate, tell your friends, subscribe. I want to be able to do live even if they don't watch, just subscribe so that I can do live broadcasts with you guys who are going to watch. You guys are the A1 listeners, the A1 watchers, the people that interact with me. And I'm getting a lot of interaction lately on social media. Please keep up with that. I love having conversations with people. In fact, most of the interviews I have on Tiki Chats were sparked from social media conversations that I've had on Instagram. That's the main one. So yeah, shout out to all those guys. Shout out to Ultimate Mai Tai and Rum Tiki Home Bar and Long Island Rum Society, which has been interacting with me a lot lately. Those guys seems really cool. So keep it up, and let me know what you want me to talk about. Let me know if there's any drinks out there that you want me to investigate. I will do the best I can, given if I can find the ingredients. Should be pretty good here in Nashville. We're a pretty booze heavy town, so it's easy. It's easy to find stuff. Craft cocktails are big here, so I'm able to find the stuff around here. And usually, if there's a tiki bar in your hometown and they carry these exotic rums, the liquor stores can get them. That means there is a rep in that area that can get that rum. So if the bar can get it, the liquor store can get it. Sometimes it's just a matter of asking, which I've been doing for years, and that's how I get stuff. And I've had a lot of liquor stores in town here carry stuff that I ask for, because they don't get a lot of that for rum. So go out and ask your liquor stores to carry stuff. Ask your bartenders. Once you get nice and you tip well, you ask them who the reps are. Reach out yourself. I have always gotten all the connections I've made across anything, any genre, any business I'm in. I've always gotten those connections by just reaching out. Don't be afraid. Wherever you are, act like you're supposed to be there, and just ask. Ask for an interview. Ask for a sample. Ask for whatever it is that ask to carry something that you don't carry, that the liquor store doesn't carry. It's nothing wrong with that. It feels awkward as a consumer, but they want that. They want to know that you are invested in their business. So don't be afraid. All right. Well, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Please be sure to follow me on Instagram at pod_tiki. My personal page is at rum_poet. There's more pics. That's less tiki, more like cigars and spirits, and my personal stuff. Once in a while, you see a picture of me and my wife, or my daughter and her family and everything. But yeah, we're on Instagram. We're on Facebook too as Pod Tiki. Of course, you're watching this. Subscribe to the YouTube for Pod Tiki. Help our sponsor, Surfside Sips. If you go to surfsidesips.com and order your glass straws and picks and barware, type in Pod Tiki at checkout. All caps, all one word, Pod Tiki, Podtiki, and that'll get you 20% off your order. I get a little bit of a kickback from that. It's not much for me. I'm really doing it to get you guys the 20% off and to spread the word about Surfside Sips, man, because they are killing it, and it really is the best product. I've had the wooden straws, I've had the metal straws, but those glass straws, they're made from high-end, durable, the same stuff you make out of like your oven, stuff, glassware. And they're machine washable, so you can put them in the dishwasher. You don't got to stick the straw in there and scrub them out and all that stuff. You can if you want to, but I love the fact that they're machine washable, because I hate washing straws. The wooden ones get all moldy. The metal ones are you got to scrub out. But I really like. Also with the metal ones, I'm always afraid I'm going to stab myself to the freaking palate, because they're sharp, like on the end. But get the glass, get the picks, get one of those sets. They offer for like $24. You can get a set of like 6 straws and a pick, and it's all you need if you're just starting out. Anybody who's building a home bar, I recommend just getting the tools, the right tools for the job. Don't try to half-ass the tools. Yeah, I believe that's it. Support Clairin. Support the local Haitian artists on the bottles. I got this one because it's lower ABV, and I'm a kind of a wimp when it comes to alcohol content. But support the weird stuff. Try it. Maybe you'll be indifferent to it, like I am, or maybe you'll love it, or maybe you'll hate it, and you'll know what you don't like. So it's all about the process of trying and learning. And I'm glad that I'm going on this journey along with you guys. And I'll see you next time.